Hey, HR friends, welcome back. So we're getting closer to the end here. We're at day 6. We're in the 2-3 emotional 6.5 day sequence. So this is the last full day. So obviously this is the 6.5 day sequence, and the white rectangle here is showing you day 6 of the 24-hour period we're going to look at. Now, let's just review and talk about day 5. So day 5, we saw this increase in first-person electromagnetics. And the warning yesterday was to be sure that you stay calm, peaceful, do not create more stress and tension because these agitations are just going to continue on. And you can see not only is it going to stay elevated in the first person perspective, but halfway through this 24-hour sequence, it starts to elevate and hold as well in the third person. So, third person agitations, those are the bigger things like political beliefs or bigger philosophical beliefs that we argue about. And first person perspectives are going to be our individual interactions between the people in our immediate sphere. Very important that today you really try to stay calm and focused in both arenas. You don't want to have problems in your first person perspectives, and you definitely don't need to be getting agitated about the bigger picture right now as well. That's not going to make anything better. If these electromagnetic agitations, if they fool us and they get us acting defensively or acting aggressively, what we're doing is we're creating the stress that accelerates our aging. And that accelerated aging is also going to lead to future states of unpleasant disease. We're trying to help you understand how to maintain, stay calm, stay collective, stay cooperative, because, well, otherwise, you just suffer. All right, let's get down here and look at today's objective. Now, we call this the objective section because in space-time reality, this is all we're supposed to be learning. Now, we decide to do other things with our time, and sometimes we decide to use our time in unbalanced ways. But if you want to do the best you can on today's testing, what you'd want to do is every first person perspective that you deal with today, you would want to learn about their perspectives and try to understand how you can integrate and become more balanced in your routine, and also challenge those individuals to do the same thing. You see, if your routine is imbalanced and you avoid certain first person perspectives, or you're avoiding to do certain third person perspectives, meaning that your daily routine doesn't get outside of family and individual time, meaning you forget to put in time to make sure that you're leaving this world a better place or you're leaving your nation a better place. Very, very important that we all balance our routines on a day-to-day basis, and that we're talking about all the people in our lives, whether it's in our family, whether it's coworkers, whether it's the stranger on the street, about what they're doing. And once we all see what this is together, it's going to become a lot easier. I can understand without everybody knowing what space-time math is asking us to do, trying to talk about this stuff seems to be creating the conflict. Truth is, once we all understand how this works, what used to create the conflict is going to start to create peace and prosperity for all of us. Now, in the testing sequence today, we're going to go down and look at the 24-hour period here. You can see that there's some action up and down both in the lower quadrants. So that's something that we're going to focus in on here. All right, let's keep moving here. So this is the 24-hour guide, and we're going to talk about the electromagnetics in the 24-hour guide first. Now, you can see in the first 12 hours, first-person agitations are way up. And in the second 12 hours, you can see that third-person agitations start to build with it. Now, let's look at the combined here for a moment because I always reference 4. 4 is at the top of yellow and when it starts to get into that red zone, okay? And it just means there's lots of polarity happening, and you can see pretty much this entire 24-hour sequence, we're dancing at that level of 4 and in between. So at the end of the first 12 hour and the beginning of the second 12 hour, we're getting well into the 6s and into the 7s. So today's going to be one of those days where it might be easy to kind of lose control or get a little agitated. Definitely, definitely stay concentrated on today. Make sure you don't make this worse for yourself. Now, as always, if you want to know where these peaks are, there's a couple ways to do it, but one way that we've allowed you to do this is to just come up here and find your time offset. So there are 24 time zones, and once you know your time zone offset, what you would do is you would come down here, you would select what your time zone offset is, and then when if -6 was your time zone, then this is the snapshot you take, and then this would be the times would be aligned for that time zone. So you would know exactly when these peaks are coming today. Now, honestly, there's a lot going on today. So I would again just be very cautious and be very and concentrate today. Concentrate on making sure you're clear. Concentrate on being patient with people when you have to interact, and definitely don't jump to any conclusions today. Ask questions if you're uncertain. Definitely don't go down the alley of making more stress for yourself. That's not going to help anything. Okay, that's enough about the electromagnetic agitations. We can see it's kind of a busy day here. Now, let's talk about the alignments. So these alignments are when two hands of the space-time clocks come together, and when these two hands come together, what's really happening is two frequencies are aligning perfectly. And when two frequencies align, they actually amplify, which make these moments, all these alignment moments here, are easy to sense. They're easy to sense if you're in balance with them because things will get smoother, things will go nicer, you'll feel good during those times. But if you're out of balance with them because they're stronger, it's very easy to also notice when things become unpleasant or your day becomes difficult. So you really want to have your times accurate here so you know when these are coming. And if you have any issues, you definitely want to document that because we can help you figure out what you would want to expand, what kind of changes you'd want to make in your routine, and what new focuses you'd want to expand on to make sure that when we're tested again, you're not going to have the disruptive interference or destructive interference by being out of frequency because your routines, your thoughts, your actions, they're not balanced. We're trying to help you balance. The more balanced you are, the more balanced your body can become. All right, so we're going to kind of stay with what we did yesterday, where we start on the first 12 hours and work our way over. So the first alignment we're going to talk about is this ME, and you can see it right here. Okay, so we're going to come over here and find ME. This is going to test left lower quadrant. Okay, first person perspective testing left lower quadrant, and both the M and the E are testing it. So even though the M is a 7.5 day frequency, much stronger than the E, which is a 3.5 hour frequency, during this timeline, if you feel something, that's a direct hit, and it's telling you exactly what relationship that you would want to start to focus on. In this case, it's immature female or daughter. All right. So the next alignment we're going to talk about is this guy right here. This is the MP. Now, this is a space alignment or a time alignment. How do we know? Because it's purple. So now we got to go find the MP over here. Here it is right here. And this is going to test right and left lower quadrant from the third person perspective. So family and individual perspective. Now, a lot of people are already spending a lot of time on family and individual perspective, but if you have a hit here, it's probably more likely you're going to feel it on the right side. Why? Well, this M is much stronger than the P. This is a year frequency. This is a 12-hour frequency. So when this alignment happens, it's much more probable you're going to have right-sided lower quadrant pain or something you're going to sense in that lower quadrant. All right, let's keep motoring here. So the next one we're going to look at is this long lower one down here. This is a PE, and this is on the time side. So here it is, PE on the time side. This is a 4.75-hour alignment. It's going to affect both the upper right and left quadrants of the body. Now, this can affect all kinds of things from shoulder to neck, face, sinus, eye irritation, visual changes, all kinds of stuff. This is a long enough alignment that I would expect that people, if they're out of frequency with this one, and this is a little tougher because this is maturing frequencies. This is thinking about the bigger picture. This is making sure that you've got national and world strategy going. So if you're one of those people that maybe aren't paying a lot of attention to what's happening in your nation or aren't putting a lot of effort in your routine towards how you're leaving our environment or going to help this world or the dysfunction or all of this conflict in our society, then it's likely you're probably going to feel this one. Okay. Now, it's not that strong, but it's definitely long. The P frequency is a 12-hour frequency, and the E frequency is a 3.5 hour frequency. Okay. So we've got that one out of the way now. Now we're going to come up here and we're going to talk about the ME. That's this little guy right here. It's 0.75 hours. This is going to test lower extremity again. The M is the strongest between the two. This is an ear frequency. This is a 3.5 hour frequency. During this alignment, which is kind of small, if you feel low back, it's probably going to be, or lower quadrant, I should say, it's going to be on the right side, most likely. All right, so we've got one last one we've got to talk about here, and it's this guy right here, this MP, okay? So here it is, MP. It's 2.75 hours long. This is a space alignment, blue alignment. So this has to do with first person perspectives. The first person perspective is immature male or son. So if you're having issues communicating with immature males, especially about helping them expand their routine and you practicing on how you would talk to somebody who maybe needs a little mentoring, It's not so easy, I promise you. I fail at this one miserably quite a bit. It's a trial and error process. But if you have a hit during this time, and you can see this is relatively strong, this is going to affect the right lower quadrant, and both of these are going to the same area. So this is a 7.5 day frequency. This is a 12-hour frequency. Expect a lot of people are probably going to feel this one. Okay. All right, so that's it for the alignments here. Let's move on down and look at the testing structure today. So this is how many frequencies we'll be testing each one of the quadrants of our body, and you can see they're kind of equal today. If there's any variation at all, we can see it down here in the lower quadrants, all right? Now, as usual, I like to show you where the macro frequencies are, and this is important to know because these are the 10 strongest frequencies and where they're positioned during this 24-hour sequence. Now, remember, there are a ton of more than 10 frequencies that are testing us, but these are the 10 strongest, and these really stay in the area. They don't move much during this course of time. So let's look at the right side first. We can see the right side is stacked again. We've got 6 on the right, and we've got 4 on the left. Also, we've got 6 on the bottom and we've got 4 on the top. So that's telling you that right side and lower are going to be the most probable areas today. And that's kind of being confirmed by these graphs here. So just really pay attention. If I was in practice, this is going to be more of a lower quadrant day again. And if I had to guess, most people are going to experience it on the right side. Now, I'm going to end this. It's kind of important. So we're giving you a general forecast here. Now, when you come to our site and you pop in your own personal birth data, it will show your personal connection, your personal rhythms, which is different for all of us. So even though this is a general forecast, if you really want to see the next level of what this is, you'd want to look at your individual rhythms for the 24 hours during this section and compare the two. That would be the easiest way to do that. All right. So, oh, there's one more thing to mention here today. In the second 12 hours today, we're going to have a shift in this M. And what's going to happen is this is a strong frequency, okay? And that's actually what's causing and lifting a lot of this agitation, both at the first person level and the third person level. So you'll see this on tomorrow's post. The M is going to be over here. So in third person, the M is shifting to the green, and in first person, the M is shifting to the right. So again, this shift in the second 12 hours, definitely right side is more probable today. All right, that's enough of that. Now, and we're always going to show you a couple new videos we stuck up here. So recently on the news, there was a 3 alarm fire in Miami. Come check this out. We show you the electromagnetics that are tied to this event, why the event would have happened when it did. It kind of gives you the behind the scenes. And then we still have the Shark one posted here. We still have the Teton Pass one posted here. And obviously, this is a cool video because it shows you how to make an immediate improvement in your health by using our technology. All right, that's it. I hope everybody's having a good start to the day here, and this next 24-hour sequence goes as well as possible for you. We'll see you next forecast.